So, in terms of advanced body mechanics, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. The first one, and probably the biggest one in terms um, of trying to keep the pressure off of you and not being overwhelmed, is realizing that the work that you do in class 3 is most likely not going to be on a demo reel. And there's many reasons for that. The biggest one is by the time you finish the program, you're going to be way better than you were in class 3. So your level of work is going to be up here compared to down here. When you put your reel together, you're not going to want that work anymore. You're going to want this work. So don't stress about, I've got to make something epic. I've got to make it like the most dynamic thing. It's going to be like, it's got to be something that Pixar would see or that I have to put on a reel. No, not at all. Instead, focus on, what do I need to learn? What am I struggling with? What are the things that I don't quite understand yet? Use that as your building blocks for the shot. What can you do? What kind of assignment can you do that will help teach you this thing that you're struggling with? And this could be anything. It could be weight and balance. That's one of the biggest things that people tend to struggle with. So do something that has a character maybe like jumping from one foot to the next. Or maybe it's just a character like stepping, maybe they're like walking through the door and they see like something coming towards them. Not another person, because it's a one character shot usually, but maybe there's like a cart rolling towards them. So they take a side step and then try to catch the cart. So you're using this weight and balance of doing a side step in order to get away, grabbing the cart and then getting pulled and having to pull back in order to stop it. So you've got weight in there. You could do something like that. If you struggle with posing, do an assignment that really focuses on like not just simple poses where the character is like this the whole time and very subtle. Make broader poses. A character that's a little bit more theatrical. Make things a little bit broader, more cartoony. And I don't mean cartoony in like the Warner Brothers Hotel T exaggerated way. I mean just in the sense of a character that's a little bit more like there's got more motion to them. If they're going to be doing a heroic pose, it's not just that nice subtle heroic pose where they're looking off into the horizon. No, it's the like hands on hips, chest out, cape billowing in the wind, that kind of heroic. Like just make it visual so that you can practice that visual representation. So find the things that you struggle with. And this doesn't just go with Animation Mentor. This goes with anyone who's learning animation. When you're at that body mechanics stage, this work that you're going to do most likely is not going to get you in a studio. That's not a bad thing. You're learning. So take that time instead to focus on your weaknesses and improve them and make them your strengths. If you can turn your weaknesses into strengths, you become an amazing animator. And be honest with yourself. Don't go, well, I only struggle with polishing and the advanced stuff. If you struggle with something, and I'm going to use air quotes here, simple, like timing, spacing, the base principle, that's not a bad thing. Timing and spacing are incredibly difficult. So if you have to take a step back and focus on understanding this principle and really getting it, that's going to be so much better than, no, I got this. I'm going to do something super complex. Now, if you are at that stage where, yeah, you do want to make something more complex, then try that. But you have to be honest with yourself and don't be afraid to ask your mentor, what are the top 3 things I need to focus on to improve myself as an animator? And you can use that as a building block of what are you going to do with your shots.